Hello, everybody, and welcome to Geek Addicts, the pop culture podcast where we rescue cats from trees, save helicopters from drowning, and all other sort of things that Boy Scouts do. I am Bill, and this is Matt. How you doing, Matt?
I'm wearing my underwear on the outside today.
Ah, you're going for the Quail Man route, I see. That's a reference that only some people will get.
How's it going, Bill? How was your week?
Long, tired. I spent the last hour of my workday today just pushing a broom around, pretending to clean because I didn't feel like working.
So a typical Friday afternoon. I see.
Yeah, other crazy stuff like that. It's just been one of those weeks. I've been super tired. I actually just did an episode of a GNC right before this recording. So
very nice. What was it about?
Childhood trauma, also known
fun.
as a really bad video game that me and Alex played back in the day.
Fair enough. Speaking of video games from back in the day, I beat the Spider-Man game. I don't remember if that was before or after we recorded last week, but
you mentioned it. Yep.
I beat the Spider-Man game, and I started and finished Mega Man 1, the Game Gear version. So it was the first time I've ever actually played through a Mega Man game. And
you played the Game Gear Mega Man?
Yes.
That is a completely original game that only came out on Game Gear.
Yeah, I kind of based on some of the stuff that I was looking up about it, I kind of got that picture of it, that it is different from the original. But I'm kind of okay with it because I had a hard enough time with this one. So
that's fair. Anime wise, I guess as of now, at this point, I don't think I had said it the last episode, I have officially finished Attack on Titan.
Mm-hmm.
God help me.
I think you hadn't quite finished it the last episode.
I'd only watched the OVAs. I hadn't started season 4 yet.
Yeah, you flew through season 4.
I watched it in one night.
Wow. Holy shit. That's like fucking... I'm trying to think. That's like fucking 30 episodes and then 2 movies, essentially.
Yeah.
That's a lot.
It was, and I don't know how to feel about it.
Yeah, I have many questions that I'd like to ask you, but I feel like I should save it for the big episode. I don't know if we have anything as far as planning set in place for it yet, but
not yet. I'm gonna reach out to Jared tomorrow, and I'm gonna get the process going. We'll figure it out from there.
Gotcha.
But
I'm actually currently watching the OVAs right now for my rewatch. I'm pretty sure since we haven't even set a day for it yet, I'm fairly certain I will finish my rewatch before the time comes. That's the other reason I want to hold back on my questions, is because I want to finish my rewatch of the whole shebang. So
yeah. Now we'll begin to there. Have you been watching anything else?
I mean, aside from ongoings, what the hell?
Hello there, Matt.
Hi, Alex.
Where's my list?
What the fuck? I feel like I'm being stalked.
Where's my list of Dragon movies? Where's my Dragon Ball movie list, Matt? I haven't got it, so I had to come and ruin your podcast just to get it. Where's my list?
Okay. I've been thinking about, because there's a tier list involved. Okay, I don't have a list. I have to arrange it in my mind. Okay, there's a tier list involved. There's the must watches. There's these are pretty good. They're worth watching, and then there's the garbage.
You know what the best part is? Alex has been sitting in the waiting room this entire time. You'll see in a week when the new episode comes out. Right at the end, we plan this entire thing.
Oh Jesus.
Yes. So where's my list?
All right. I'll give you the main ones right now. Okay.
Okay. Hold on. I'll write them in the chat. There we go.
So, I'd say World's Strongest for sure.
I can't believe this worked.
I typed it
Oh, I see.
badly.
The first Cooler movie, Cooler's Revenge.
Oh,
World's
God.
Strongest Boy.
The first Broly movie.
So she can see just how drastically different Broly was.
Yes, for sure. Just for the lols, I'm gonna say Bio Broly.
I'm writing notes.
And then Fusion Reborn.
Do you like the names?
I do. It's very small on my screen, so I have to really
Oh.
squint.
What?
I'm not.
I don't know
I
what
can't
that
see
says.
I can't see my keyboard.
Oh. And
I'll
Wrath
move
of
it
the
up here.
Dragon.
Revenge of the Dragon.
Wrath of the Dragon.
Oh, Wrath of the Dragon. The only other one I'd recommend is Super Android 13, just because Texas accent and my trucker.
See, I'd say that one. I don't know if I'd put BoJack above that one though, because I feel like BoJack is like the perfect cap off of like the Cell Saga.
True. I just love Super Android 13 because it's not over till the fish drops.
The horse guy.
Now it's over.
All right, Bill, please read my list.
So
as
Alex
best as
is-
you can.
This is Alex's interpretations of these films. We've got World's Strongest Boy, Cooler Revenge Guy Time,
Don't just say what it means, not my
Well-
mistyping.
Broly movie but different, Bayu Broly Yeehaw. I don't even know what happened with that one.
I don't know.
Whatever
Fusion.
that it's supposed to be Fusion Reborn, but Alex had a stroke mid-right.
Yes.
Dragon has some anger issues. Super Android 13, Yeehaw, and BoJack the Horse Guy.
There you
Sure,
go.
Alex will remember. all-
Hold on. I gotta take a screenshot of it. Hold on. I
Probably
gotta
for
grab my
the best.
keyboard.
But I will say, for the record, they're all worth watching at least once. Like all of the Z movies.
All
But
right.
can
It'll
watch
help
those
me.
those are the must watches.
Actually, I'm gonna take the full screen again
Good.
because it's
Ironic-
a great photo.
They're all so short that you can honestly just like watch. You can probably watch all of them in like a weekend. Like
Yeah,
actually in a
honestly,
day.
I think there's only like 3 of them that are more than an hour long. Most of them are like 45 minutes.
Okay. Well, it will just help me win again, like I did last year.
Oh, we'll see about that.
We'll see.
We'll see
I'm
about
already up to 18 new watches and 7 rewatches.
I would have to look and see what my rewatches are, but total
I'm
I'm
like-
almost at 40. So
It's okay. You'll have a slowdown at some point, and then I will win. I know it.
we'll see.
I'm gonna
We'll see.
win.
Somewhere
I'm
along the
gonna
line, this
win.
became a contest.
The real
Yes.
question is, does Slade finish his homework before the end of the year, or is he going to be the one that?
I hope he
Maybe
doesn't.
he had
So
one
we
of the-
can call
He
him
had
out.
one of the shortest homeworks too.
Well, you had the shortest to the point where you decided to just get multiple homework assignments done.
All right.
Yeah.
A pact. If Slade doesn't do his homework, he has to watch all of One Piece.
Agreed.
By the end of the year, if he doesn't do his homework, Slade, you better be listening. You have to. We're deciding this without your consent. Your consent isn't needed this time.
No. Well, apparently, my consent wasn't needed for you to be here.
It was really fun just kind of listening in too and just be like, I'm here the whole time.
we did like tests to
fly on
make
the
sure this
wall.
would.
Yeah,
we did
we
like
were-
testing to make sure this would work. We had to be
The
like,
be-
all right, we
The best thing would have been if you had done like the Alex face background right before she popped up. You just- oh God,
Next time,
Big Brother's watching.
I'm always there. You should get one to
Oh,
like put me
geez.
like in the corner Just like in the corner. Like, hey, I'm here.
Just like where the GNC Studios is.
I mean,
just
The
like
she's
in
over
opposite
Alex
there.
made.
She's always in the corner, technically.
True. Yeah.
The
that is
other
true.
corner. All right.
She's just Alex
That's all
everywhere.
I came for.
Okay.
It wasn't to join, it was just to ask for my list.
Jeez. All right.
All
Well, you
right.
got it.
Thank you. I got my great list that I'll look back on and be like, what the fuck does any of this mean?
See, the best part is I'm gonna make sure the thumbnail for the YouTube version has Alex in it, so people will think Alex is actually in the episode. And then when they actually watch, they're like, "Oh no, it was a joke."
It was a joke.
What? One thing I will say about the movies is I know there is not an option on Crunchyroll, but if Bill has the physicals
hmm
for Lord Slug, which I didn't have on the list, partly because you haven't watched OG Dragon Ball yet, you wouldn't like it. There's a connection there, and you'll get it once you watch
Okay.
that. But Lord Slug, the first Cooler movie, and the first Broly movie, at some point in time, you have to watch those with the English music.
Oh yeah, because it's all disturbed, drowning pool, and like Godsmack.
Pantera.
Wait,
Like,
really?
Yeah. Let the bodies hit the floor plays in one of them, and it's great.
That is
fucking
great.
Stupefy by Disturbed. I
Stupefy.
think plays
Like,
in Lord Slug.
Oh my god.
I
All
have
right.
to go check because I believe I have those.
So that's a must. Oh, and definitely History of Trunks and Bardock. Like those are technically TV specials, they're not movies, but
Okay.
those are absolutely, even if you didn't watch any of the movies, you have to watch those too.
Here we go. I added it.
Nice.
Oh. I can't type.
That's okay.
That's supposed to say Trunks history lesson. Oh,
Yes.
History buff.
go Goku's.
Yeah. Goku's daddy.
Dang.
Something that Goku doesn't know how to be. Anyways.
Well,
Which he references in Daima, which we'll be talking
Oh yeah,
about later
we'll
on.
be getting to that
oh,
one.
wait, is that done? Is the dub done for
you,
that?
you still,
No,
we're still like
they're
over
only,
half.
I think today episode 9 came out. So it's almost halfway.
Damn it. All
There's
right.
20 total.
That was the other one that was on my list I didn't mention. But all right. Thanks for having me.
Thanks for stopping by.
Yeah, right.
So long. Fair one.
See
Can I
ya.
just leave?
Yeah, you can just go. You'll be good.
Okay. Bye.
Bye, Alex.
That was weird.
We were planning that. We planned that the entire time. It actually kind of worked as a blessing that you were a little behind. I was like, oh, this is perfect. We can test everything. Oh no, the whole time she's down there just like conniving, like, yes, I can't wait.
Could you see her the whole time?
Oh yeah. Because I had to make sure, because I had her in the waiting room. I was like, I planned it. I was gonna ask you what you were watching, and then just surprise.
Oh, jeez.
That was more entertaining than it needed to be.
So, anyways, what have you been watching?
Not much since finishing Attack on Titan. I'm still processing that entire thing.
Yeah, that's definitely a show you need to digest for a little while.
The ending is still fucking with me. Like, it was so bleak. Like, there's no happy ending. It was bleak. Like,
it is, but there's also like that, like, I don't know, because the show hints towards. I actually, obviously, I won't go like too far into it, but there's, just because I watched it just a couple days ago, there's a scene in season 3 where the previous King of the Walls, Uri, is having a conversation with Kenny, like by the lake when when he's like old and dying or whatever, and like they're having a conversation about how they became friends and shit. And he's just like, oh, like it's funny how things worked out and we ended up being cool. And Kenny's like, oh, I don't know how that happened, but I'll tell you what, if you didn't grab me with your stupidly big hand and squeeze the hell out of me, there's no way I would have been your friend. And like Uri says something like that's how it always goes. Like that's how it always is in the world. Like something along those lines. And I'm like, he literally just told the end of the show. It's like Aaron had to grab everybody with his freakishly big hand and squeeze the shit out of them so that they'd all be friends.
pretty much. Yeah.
Oh, that's that scene with the baby? You know the one I'm talking about? Yeah. They saved it. It's fine. But want to know something fucked up?
What?
In the Japanese, the baby, like the voice of the baby, was done by the Japanese voice actor for Aaron's actual child.
Yeah, that's pretty fucked up. I don't know. I honestly, like, all hope for season 4, like, any sort of positivity went out the window the second they killed Sasha. I was just like, they killed the only character I liked here. I was like, God damn it.
Yeah. Well, I mean, everybody had their growth arc, you know?
Yeah, but the problem with season 4 is the main viewpoint characters for most of it are these two annoying shits that I did not want anything to do with the entire time.
Well, Falco was a good boy.
Yeah, but even he's, like, incapacitated for most of it as well.
True.
It's mostly just Gabby being annoying as fuck.
One thing I do want to touch on with you real quick is so you had very strong feelings about Reiner by the end of season 3. How did you feel by the end of season 4?
I still don't really like any of them, to be honest. At this point, it's kind of one of those shows where I'm just like, I don't think anybody's the hero here. Like, they're all
That's the point. That's the point. The world is all gray.
The only positive person in that world died. Her family were were the true heroes of that show.
Yeah, I was gonna say Sasha's dad is the best boy.
That man is too nice for this show.
Yep. Yep.
Fucking stopped the little blonde girl from stabbing Gabby, which we all wanted. Like, everyone wanted that to happen, but no.
Yep. Like, you should have seen, like, when that episode came out and, like, me and Cindy and my little brother Nick were all watching it together. We were all, like, on the edge of our seats, like, oh, she's gonna stab her, yes! And then freaking Mikasa stops her. It's like, damn it!
Also, like, all of those, like, people from inside the walls that you, like, get to know over the course of the season, they all get turned into Titans and then just offed off screen, and it's like, oh, that's cool.
Yep.
Like, none of them survive, I guess. Oh, well, the only other death too was the only other death that was made me sad was Anji, because we all liked Anji. But...
Well, she got a nice send off, so that was nice.
Yeah.
Apparently, there's an afterlife, so there's that.
Yeah, at first I was like, did she live? And I'm like, nah, that bitch was on fire. Like, she was dead.
Yeah. Well, I mean, to be fair, so was Armin.
Well, yeah, but he got Titan juiced and ate the most worthless character in the series. So
yeah, speaking of getting juiced, like when that happened and like all of his clothes burn off and he starts getting charcoal, you're like, holy shit, bro, this kid's got abs.
I don't know. I was more being like, just, I was so like fucking not out of it at the time. I was like, crispy Armin.
Yep. Extra crispy.
I was like, he did.
Yeah.
I was like, oh no, he back.
He just
yeah. But yeah, that was the Attack on Titan experience. The only other things I've watched are obviously like ongoings, and then I rewatched what we have so far of Solo Leveling season 2 because fuck it, I really want more of that because holy shit, it's good.
Where did that one leave off again?
He's going back and he just became the 10th S rank, and now he's going through
right
hell dungeon again.
Mm-hmm.
He's gonna make the cure finally.
About damn time. And then you had some more crazy mysteries in Apothecary Diaries.
Oh yeah, the fucking the scene where the blue consort finally grows a fucking spine.
Mm-hmm.
That was badass. I love that episode.
Yeah. I gotta be honest with you, man. Like, I'm like super lukewarm on My Happy Marriage.
Season 2 right now?
In general, the whole show. Honestly. Like I don't have any strong feelings either way. And the thing is I feel like I would be more interested if it was more focused on like her overcoming her issues. Well, but they made it like a romance that's trying to be like a shonen, and I don't like it. I don't like that part of it, you know.
I've read the light novels ahead. It is the slowest of slow burns.
Well, I mean, I'm gonna stick with it, and we'll see what happens later on. Like maybe I'll come around, but
we just got the most horrific trauma dump of an episode this Monday. So
yeah, that is true. I actually just watched that today.
I was like, I watched that on Monday when it came out, right after finishing Attack on Titan. I was like, God fucking damn it! I did not need this of all things right now.
Oh, and because of the chaos of last week, I didn't get to give you my thoughts of Kimi ni Todoke. I liked it in the first season. The second season started to irk me a little bit with some things.
Season 2 does drag.
And then the third season just infuriated me.
Why?
Because like 98% of the conflict of that show is completely unnecessary. It's manufactured. It's there just because they don't talk to each other.
It's because Kaza, whatever his name is, he's kind of stupid.
They all are, because none of them know how to fucking talk.
Well, they're teenagers.
It gets to yeah, but even when I was a teenager, I'd be like, look, dude, I'm pissed off. Like, do something. Like, you know what I mean? Like at the first season, when it's like the beginning before they get together, sure, whatever. You know, like we're getting somewhere. You know, it's how like all these kinds of like slice of life romance stuff happen. You know, it's a stepping ladder. You know, you gotta work your way up. But then when season 2 goes and it's like, okay, well, they're doing the whole like, oh, he couldn't possibly like me even though he asked me on a fucking date in like episode 3. Yeah. Let's just forget that. And that's something that happens multiple times, by the way.
Sawako has a very, very poor self-esteem.
And then like I said, like even once they like after the point where they have like their little first picnic date or whatever the fuck it was. Like up to that point, I was like, yeah, that was nice. It was a nice little like, oh, let's show them, you know, doing their thing. Every episode after that, I was just infuriated. The only relationship I really cared about was what's his name?
I know you're talking about the guy who gives no shits.
The quiet guy, that guy.
Yeah.
And the tall girl. Like I liked the what was starting to happen with them. Never actually happened, but
well, no, it does. It's just there's still a lot of fun fact. Season 3, we're not even halfway through. There's still a lot of manga left.
Well, is it ongoing or is it done?
Oh, it's been done for a while, but there's.
I mean, like the anime. Like, are they gonna make any more, or are they done?
It's unclear because there was a 10-year gap in between season 2 and 3, so it's unclear.
But no, it just feels like so much of the conflict of the show is just down to it's all manufactured. Like, there's none of it seems organic. It all just seems like it didn't need to be there.
So the way I view that show is I view it as it's trying to actually be like a real high school kind of thing, because in reality, high school students are all fucking morons like this. And the way it kind of goes is I actually found it kind of interesting because most of these animes, like slice of lives, they'll get to the point, like Kaguya-sama in particular, they get to the point where the characters get together, and then that's it. They don't showcase anything after that.
Mm-hmm.
And the way I was viewing it is like this show is one of the rare ones where we actually do get some stuff after. And it's admittedly like in the manga, because I've been reading the manga because I need fucking something that's not traumatic for once. I've been in the manga, it really does because we're at the point in the anime where they are now, they're still in that growing phase. Like, yeah, they're together, but they still don't really understand what it means to be a couple, as you could tell.
Yeah, I mean, it takes what was it 9 months of dating before they kissed? Like that was like, look, I'm just saying, like, if this is an accurate representation of what relationships are like in Japan, it's a miracle that they haven't died out just from lack of procreation.
I mean,
because that is way too slow. Like,
to be fair,
if you're a reserved person, that's very, very slow.
to be fair, though, Sawako is incredibly low self-esteem and shy. So
yeah, but I mean, in most cases, the dude is the one who takes that first step anyway.
Yeah, but he's awkward as fuck too.
I don't know. I'm just saying, like, there's a lot of parts where I was just like getting angry at them.
his entire character is he's like the hot guy that all the girls like, but he's too like, I like the girl that looks like the girl from The Ring.
Yeah.
Like, that's his thing. He's like, ooh, this girl showed me how to get to school.
Yeah. I mean, I'm not going to say that there weren't things I enjoyed about the show, but honestly, Ryu, that was his name, right? Like, yeah, like, that was like the main thing that was keeping my interest, is his whole deal.
I like the other friend, Saoko's other friend too, the one that's just like sarcastic.
Oh yeah, now she's dating the blonde dude.
I won't say anything how that goes, but
Well, I mean, obviously, I mean,
oh yeah, I fucking hated the blonde guy.
we'll get there eventually, huh?
I hated the blonde guy.
Really? Because I started warming up to him. I mean,
Well,
he
I was
was
just
being super underhanded at first, but like,
well, my
it
whole
got to a
thing.
point eventually where
My,
I kind of got it.
See, that was my thing I didn't like about season 2. Like season 1, like you got Karumi, which is the girl that's obsessed with the guy, and then they flip it on its head for season 2, where they're like, now there's a guy that's interested. Because they had to have 2 love triangles in a row, even though there was literally no love triangle. Both because it was clear, where it was going. There was just some weird interference coming from both sides.
Yeah, I did like that one scene where what was her name again? The love triangle girl.
Oh, Karumi.
Yeah, where she's like trying to like arrange things, but then like it ends up coming off like she has a thing for the teacher. I love the teacher, by the way. He's great.
Oh yeah, he's a sarcastic asshole.
Yeah, he's one of the best characters in the whole show. Honestly, like at this point, like my favorite characters in the show are Ryu, the teacher, and Sawako's dad. Like those are my favorite characters.
Sawako's dad, because he's like, but listen here, you. And it's like, but buddy, you're not convincing at all.
I love it. I love it. It's just like Sawako made this hat for me. Just like, no, actually,
and then Sawako's like,
she didn't.
No, she didn't. I like Sawako too,
funny.
even though Sawako gets a lot better in the manga. That's all I'll say. They all honestly do.
I mean, like personally, like as far as like them as characters, I like them fine. It's the manufactured conflict that I have the problem with.
It's like the most pure romance anime I've ever watched.
Yeah. Like I said, like I liked it in the first season, and then the second season was like I still liked it, but it was starting to like irk me a little bit with like the conflict stuff. And then the third season was just like, come on, guys, let's move past this. This is stupid.
Well, thankfully they do get better as it goes on because there's quite a bit more. But
fair enough.
Yeah, I do enjoy that show though quite a bit. I've been reading the manga to detox from all the fucking Attack on Titan trauma. So,
once I finish my Attack on Titan rewatch, honestly, like now that Daima is done in Japan, like I've seen the whole thing. I really like kind of feel like I want to rewatch GT, but I feel like doing 2 rewatches in a row, like I can't do that. I need to justify it by having something in the middle. So I might start My Hero.
Huh. That might not be bad.
So, and that was pretty long. So I feel like that'll justify another rewatch afterwards. So,
yeah, I still have not watched that one, which is crazy considering it's based off of American comics, particularly DC comics, and Marvel to a degree. I don't know why I've never watched it. I think I would be all into that.
Well, I mean, I'll give you my thoughts once I start going through it. Obviously, without too many details. But Dr. Stone is getting crazy too.
Alex has mentioned that. I've been it's on my eventually list, but my eventually list is there's no set date for when I'll get to anything on it. So
honestly, I think that's one of the ones that you would really like because it has a really cool concept, and the tone itself overall is very fun. Like
I don't
like it has its serious moments, but it doesn't take itself too seriously for the most part. So
I'm just it's kind of crazy. Like out of all the new animes that have come out this year to start, Solo Leveling season 2 has like just hooked me. Like that's the one that I'm like, when they fucking delayed that 1 week and gave us 2 the next week, I was so annoyed. I mean, I'm glad they did because it gave us that entire arc in one episode, like in both episodes in one weekend. But like, I was still just like, come on, I need to know what happens next.
Well, we only have what like 3-4 weeks of that left at most. So
like 5, I think, because it's a 13er.
Oh, okay. I can remember what episode we left off on. If it was 8 or 9.
It's 8. Actually, I think it was. Let me consult AniList because I can figure this out. Let me see. We're at episode 7, so we still got quite a ways to go.
Okay, so we got another 6 episodes.
Yeah, and there's some pretty heavy stuff coming up, which I'm really looking forward to.
That's fun.
The sister is still my favorite character in that show.
I love how when she finds out about him being S rank, she's like super. She's like, "Are you fucking kidding me, dude?"
Well,
Like,
I love when she's in the school, like just like she's not caring, and the friend's like, "Yo, Gina, look," and she's like, "Stop shaking me, leave me alone." And it's like, "Your brother's on TV." She's like, "What?"
I mean, you'd think it should have been obvious for her. Like, he kind of like completely turned into a different person overnight. Like,
I mean, she's been questioning that, but I don't think she's really cared that much.
I don't know, your only living relative that isn't a vegetable. I feel like you know.
Gina's an interesting character. I like her a lot because I love like the scene where like she's like staring out the window. She's like, "They're finally gone." And he's like, "Oh, the paparazzi's gone." And she's like, "You suck." And I'm just like,
Yeah.
I love this character so much.
Yeah.
Then we get the great scene where he's like, "Oh, I need to protect Gina." And he brings out his 3 generals. He's like, "Wasn't there 4 of you?" And then they point up. He's like, "Oh yeah, I launched that one guy into the ceiling. Forgot about him." That's probably not an issue. And he just completely moves on from it.
Yep.
But do you want to get into Diamond next?
Sure.
All right, so it's now officially Diamond time. Let's get the music, but I can't remember which one it was. I think it's that. Yeah, that'll work. So we were gonna do a twofer this time because we skipped last week, I believe.
Yes. Yeah, because Cindy was with us and she hasn't watched any of it yet, so.
Right. And that would be, we'd be covering episodes 6 and 7, I believe.
7 and 8.
7 and 8, right.
Yeah, 6 was the one where Goku fought Glorio.
Right. Oh yeah, so it's interesting how like episode 7 is another episode where not a lot happens, but the things
a lot of getting in and out of the plane.
Yeah, like the things that do happen are pretty significant.
Mm.
Like we get Goku not getting caught because he's like, "Oh right, I can instant transmission. This thing that I haven't mentioned that I can do."
Which is fun because that's an automatic like, take that GT, because he couldn't teleport as a kid in GT.
Yeah. I thought that was interesting. We got one of my favorite lines in the entire anime so far, which is fucked up because it's kind of sad. Where it's Pansy, right? Is her name?
Mm-hmm.
Where Pansy's like, "How are you a father?" And he's like, "Oh, I wasn't really involved." I'm just like,
yeah, I know.
How accurate, Goku? How accurate?
Really? I had one of my favorite lines of this episode too.
Which one was that?
We managed to avoid them last time because Goku was off in the bushes pinching off a loaf.
Yeah, that was what I heard that and I was like, okay. Also, we had some brief shenanigans with Bulma and company where they're still trying to get the plane to work.
Yeah, I like Vegeta's kid voice in this.
It's pretty good because it doesn't bother me like some of the other choices because we never heard Vegeta's younger voice unless you count that grunt he makes in like the beginning of Super that like was like 3 seconds. But
well, I mean, we've heard a little bit through the years, but this was also like a lot of that was like back in the early days when Sabat hadn't really gotten his Vegeta voice like to what it is now. So it was still very much this kind of voice.
Yeah, it's still very much.
So
I don't know what I'm doing with this character. Yes.
Yeah. I like Piccolo's voice too. Honestly, I feel like both of them got very fitting voice actors for their roles.
Yeah, it's honestly only like Krillin and like Bulma and stuff that kind of annoy me. Just because, well, Bulma's isn't bad. We technically had young Bulma, so we knew that voice. But I know what's her name's never coming back. So.
Yeah, well, Krillin's voice bothered, even though he only had like 2 lines, it still bothered me because that's one of those iconic like nostalgic voices for me.
I'm actually sitting here wondering why they even gave half the characters voices at all, considering how pointless they are in the show.
Yeah, and spoilers, you're not going to see them again.
That's fun.
So
that was a fun 2 seconds. I
Yeah.
hope those actors got paid.
probably like $2 each.
Power Rangers. They got paid Power Rangers salaries.
Yeah.
For those who don't know, Power Rangers did not get paid well at all in the early days.
So yeah, it's a whole lot of getting in out of planes because they ended up getting pulled over by the gendarmerie again.
Yeah, and Goku's just trolling them at this point.
Yeah, and he just completely like throws loops around them, and they want to take Pansy anyway, even though they don't find Goku because they suspect that she was the masked kid who threw the smoke grenade or whatever the fuck that was. Which I mean they are right, but that's the point where they're like, all right, I guess we got to kick their asses after all. So. Which I was gonna say, like, first of all, I like that we're actually seeing Supreme Kai throw hands because we've never really seen that before. And also, like, I know we kind of got a little bit of a showcase of what Glorio's deal is with like the lightning and everything, but seeing him utilize it, like he kind of like charged up his fist and did like a taser punch kind of situation. Like I like that. I like that idea for like a fighting style. Like that's really cool.
Yeah. No, it was honestly the thing that I like about Daima, especially compared to GT, because it's the most obvious comparison. The fact that Goku doesn't solve every problem here. He's like Goku is like literally the last resort a lot of the times in these episodes.
Yeah. Everyone who's in this show gets a chance to shine.
Yeah. Because GT literally became the Goku show after like 3 episodes because he literally did everything in that show.
Pretty much, yeah. I mean, there was a little. I mean, Trunks and Pan had a little bit of their thing in GT, but for the most part, yeah, it was Goku.
Trunks and Pan were there, but did they really do anything?
I mean, considering Trunks never surpassed regular Super Saiyan and Pan never even got that, yeah, they don't really do much.
And Goku's already like fucking like. Once he learns Super Saiyan 4, the show's over. That's like, yeah. Yeah, and this one, though, they're much more subdued about it, like which I like, especially because it gives us more... I'm sorry, I was just distracted by Twitter being like, hey, want to chat? You can talk to Gronk. I'm just like, go away, Twitter. Go away. I'm not doing that.
Oh, Jesus.
I don't know why that just completely took me out of it, but okay.
So yeah, they kick their asses, but their plane gets damaged. But hey, there's still a gendarmerie plane left, and it's the newest one, like the newest possible model. So it's like, oh great, we got an upgrade. We just got to get another new pin number for warp.
Let me guess. Just this isn't really a spoiler, but I'm wondering how many planes do they go through? Is this like a running gag throughout the entire series?
I mean, at this point, it already is a running gag.
But does it keep going? Like
I don't remember. I know they continue to use planes. I just don't remember if it's this one.
I'm just like, is this just going to be the joke every episode they get a new plane?
Well, I mean, I did tell you a few episodes ago that this was going to be something that we're going to see for a bit.
True. The only other major plot point in this one is they reveal like Pansy's got one of the necklaces, like the control necklaces or whatever. Yeah.
Yeah.
And we find out that Supreme Kai, Supreme Kai, right?
Yeah.
He can remove them because they're the same. They were created. It was because they were created by his sister, right?
Yes, his older sister. Yeah, because apparently catching tight, or in the original Z-dub, they called it Kachin. I think in Super they called it Kachin. They keep changing the name. I don't know. I'm pretty sure it's all the same material though, or maybe it's like different, or maybe it's different temperaments of the same material. I'm not sure. But either way, it either originates in the Demon Realm or in Universe 7. We're not sure, because they keep changing it. But so yeah, for whatever reason, Glins know how to just shatter it. So that's what he does, and now Pansy's free of her collar. Also, we learned Supreme Kai's real name.
Yeah, like of all times, like now they give him one.
Yep, his name is Nahare.
I totally didn't forget that until you just said it.
Oh, don't worry about it, because I had to watch this episode a couple times, both in Japanese and English, before I remembered it. So
it's all right. I've gone through a lot of the series thinking Glorio's name is Glory Hole. So
Yeah. So did Goku.
Goku's doing it on purpose at this point. I swear.
He's definitely trolling him for sure.
What do you think of Stephanie's performance in this episode?
I mean, it was pretty good. I mean, see, I'm still hearing the differences, but I mean, she's definitely getting back into the swing of it.
She's for the most part there. Sometimes she'll lose the inflection, and it will sound odd, but for the most part, she's got the sound right.
Yeah, it seems like sometimes her voice, the Goku voice, just kind of gives up.
Yeah, and she gets like really like nasally at times. That's been like the most noticeable points for me.
Yeah,
but
which is a little disappointing, but I mean, you can't really hold it against her since she hasn't really voice acted in like 15 years.
Then she's like 15 years older. Your voice is going to sound different.
But it also is different. Like if you're consistently doing voice work like for years and years and years, like you're going to have it better than somebody who did it for 10 years and then didn't do it for 15, you know?
True. I mean, even people that do it consistently, though. I mean, look at Cynthia Kranz. Like, look at early Chi-Chi compared to Chi-Chi now. It's like night or day.
Sure.
Or even like Botan compared to like those Botan's appearance in those OVAs, where it's like, oh yeah.
I still haven't seen those.
I've seen clips of them. I haven't watched them in full because I don't know where they are. Because I don't think
you can probably get them physical.
Yeah, I think so.
I haven't looked into it. I have the old OVAs. Like Nightmare Hakusho and shit. Like that was weird.
Yeah.
I don't know if you've ever seen those, but yeah, pretty weird. Yusuke has this weird like nightmare sequence where he's married to Botan. It's bizarre.
Is that a nightmare or is that just?
You see that's where a lot of people get a little confused there because
Keiko's just
see it that way.
Keiko's just as scary. I mean, Keiko's arguably more scary than Botan when you think about it.
Yeah, this is true. Botan's at least bubbly.
Yeah, Botan's fun. Keiko doesn't do anything.
Yeah. She cries and says, Yusuke.
Gets the shit kicked out of her in that one episode. Just like favorite gif in the show. Gets the shit kicked out of her by Yusuke of all characters.
Yeah, right. Back to Daima. Aside from that, they get the new plane and they head off and they go to the Tamagami. But we also get a little bit with what was his name? Oh, I remembered it earlier. The guy that the king sent.
Yes, I can't remember his name.
I forget his name again. Oh well. Anyway, the guy that had a hot date, which he was totally lying about.
Yeah.
He is pretty much he's escorting them back or whatever, and he talks to the king over the phone, and he's like, "Oh, like, can I get a pizza?" He's like, "Yeah, whatever." He's like, "Yeah, I want one with worms." The king's like, "Whatever, I'll get you all the pizzas you want. Just do the thing." He's like, "I can't see why I would want more than one pizza."
Yeah, I love
I love like the flat delivery with that character. Like,
Daima's got some good sarcastic humor. I've noticed.
Yeah, for sure. I'm all here for it. I'm having a great time with the show.
I just couldn't get over the the Goku line. Like, how did you raise a kid? He's like, I wasn't really involved. It's like,
It's about right. It's about right. But yeah, we'll move into the next episode, Tamagami, where we get our first really. I mean, the fight with Gloria was more of a sparring match. This is the first legitimate fight that we've had, and it goes by very quickly.
I did like the guy because they're searching for the Dragon Balls. I forgot that was a plot point.
Yeah,
because we've spent
they kind of did too.
We've spent 6 episodes doing fucking nothing. But yeah, the fight was pretty good. I like the guy he fought, the robot guy.
Tamagami number 3, which it's just Tamagami 3. I'm pretty sure that they're numbered by their strength, so I'm fairly certain this is the weakest one, considering Goku only went to Super Saiyan 2 to beat him, even in his kid form, which kind of makes you question some things, because they made it a point of saying that Deborah couldn't beat any of the Tamagami, and Deborah is canonically as strong as Super Perfect Cell.
Toriyama forgot. Anyways,
So I don't know. It's just one of those things.
Toriyama, when he was writing, he would always see canon and proof of things, and he'd just go, and would just write what he felt like.
Well, this just like further accentuates my theory that this is just one of the time rings. That all of the sequels are just different time rings.
Yeah, that's a good theory, honestly. Like GT is one of them. This is one of them. The fun part is the one that's the actual canon one is whichever one you feel like.
Pretty much, and that's kind of like how you have. I mean, I look at Dragon Ball as like Dragon Ball is like the DC universe of anime. It's like they're just constantly rebooting it, and it doesn't matter. Like sometimes they say it's connected, but it's not. Don't worry about it. It's only connected when they want it to be.
To be fair, DC has only rebooted twice, despite what people say. I just want to put that out there.
Just saying.
And technically, the second reboot was undone, so they only rebooted once.
Look, with all the times Flash is going back in time and fucks the timeline, like.
Well, see, they've the best part about DC now is they've adopted like the sliding scale timeline that Marvel has, where if something doesn't make sense in the canon, well, who cares, and move on.
Yeah, well, again, that's exactly where Dragon Ball is at. That's where the parallel. Yeah. That's the parallel I'm seeing here. Excuse me.
I think DC's new model is like everything's canon. Just accept.
So I think it's one of those things where like Super is like the official sequel to like the only things that are like legitimate canon, like this is the baseline, are Dragon Ball and Dragon Ball Z. Everything after that is whatever one you like the best. That's the canon one.
Which I think the majority of people would say Super, but don't quote me on that because I don't really know.
Based on what I've seen online, that seems to be the consensus. But I mean, I feel like this is like the perfect continuation. But we'll have more things to say when we get towards the end. I'm assuming you've still stayed spoil free.
Yeah, I haven't. Somehow I have not been. I've been spoiled by fucking solo leveling more than I haven't even seen a Daima thing pop. Well, I saw one pretty big one that was kind of unavoidable, but it doesn't really spoil anything other than a certain form appears later in the series. But yeah.
How do I phrase this? Which character does it involve?
I honestly don't remember because I kind of saw it and clicked away real fast. So
okay.
I don't really remember which one it was, whoever it was. So that leads me to believe it wasn't Goku.
Okay.
Either way,
I don't want to say too much.
It doesn't matter because I clicked away fast enough and I already forgot most of what I saw. So
okay, I banished it from my mind. Anyways, so yeah,
it was more. I typed in Daima on Google and the first thing that popped up, I went, "Whoa, nope, didn't see that." And this was like,
"Yeah, don't do that. Don't do
yeah,
that."
I learned after that.
Look, I gotta tell you, like, I know we keep getting sidetracked from the actual content of the episode, but I can't tell you how many times I've wanted to comment on Daima stuff on Facebook, and I stop myself because I'm like, "Oh shit, I'm friends with Bill on Facebook. He's gonna see this if I comment on it." I can't do that. Fuck.
To be fair though, my fucking Facebook AI that like, because Facebook's what it shows you is they're definitely data mining your phone because like all the shit I see is all stuff I happen to search like recently. So, but I did enjoy the little game that they make Goku play to get the Dragon Ball.
Yeah. Well, they had the little fight, which was really well animated. I even though it went by really fast, it was like a 7-minute fight at most.
Yeah.
We actually got to see him utilizing the power pole in like a serious fight in Super Saiyan, no less, which you'd never seen.
Yeah, because I always forget the power pole. Once he fucking goes up to the tower, it just goes away. He
breaks that big ass hammer in half with it.
Yeah, he did. I'm like, what is that thing made of? So
magic.
Strong. Roshi's using it as a fucking drying towel.
Well, that's always been a thing with the power pole. Like, everyone always underestimates it, but it always ends up being like the strongest weapon.
Yeah.
But yeah, so they have their fight, and it's very well animated. We got another very, very cool Super Saiyan transformation. A much more flashy one than the last one. But
another classic case of Goku holding back and getting called out for holding back.
Yep. And yeah, so the fight goes by pretty quick, and then the Tamagami does like a "Where's the cup? Where's the cup?" kind of deal with them.
You know, that was a cool scene, but I predicted that like the second I saw it. I'm like, it's not under one of those. It's somewhere else.
Yeah, it's kind of obvious.
I love when they show how he did it too. He just throws it like.
Yep. It's just
no one will see this.
It's just floating above the restaurant owner's head, like.
They're all like, what?
Which the dangos that they were eating before the fight, they all had mouths. I don't know what to think about that.
Goku will eat anything, so.
Yeah, this is true. So yeah, they get through that whole bit, and they're like, "All right, we're off to go to the second Tamagami." And then you see Tamagami 3 in the background, like doing a Kamehameha, like copying the Kamehameha. Like, it was pretty funny.
Yeah.
So then we get a flash to Goma, because they're still looking at Buu Saga footage for some reason.
Oh yeah, them. I was like, oh right, there were villains in this show.
Yeah, they're still looking at footage from the Buu Saga for some reason.
You know what's really funny? When they popped up, my brain literally went, "Who are the?" I'm like, "Oh right,
they're right, the bad guys,
the guys who are the reason this entire thing's happening." Them, I've completely forgot they were here.
You know what's really funny is like you never forgot about like the Pilaf crew when they were the main villains, but these guys,
because the Pilaf crew was memorable. These guys are just here.
Well, at this point, I'm just sick of evil Kais or Glins, I guess, whatever.
True. Well, the Pilaf gang was charming because of how pathetic they were.
Yes. But yeah, they're watching the Buu Saga footage, and they're like, "Oh wait, I see something in the background." And it turns out Arinsu was there during the Buu stuff, and she stole some Buu bits, which yeah, she goes to a magical Majin witch, who turns out is the one who created Majin Buu in the first place.
Lore.
Because apparently Bibbidi was a hack, and he had to hire a witch to make Buu. Big shocker there.
Yeah, that doesn't surprise me at all.
It turns out Bibbidi was incompetent. Who would have guessed it?
That's why he gets taken out by his creation instantly.
Yep. Mm-hmm. So this is where we learned that Arinsu is trying to get this magical witch to essentially make a new Buu. So that's kind of where we leave off.
Did we get a clip of Bulma and the gang again, or?
Yeah, they had arrived in the demon realm, and when they got in contact with the king, they're like, "Hey, Goku beat the guy. We're popping bottles and drinking and having a good time. You guys should just go to a motel for the night."
Right, yeah. They're really the butt monkeys of this show right now.
And it was weird because the episode ended with like Vegeta like demanding like an answer about something from the guy who's chauffeuring them. And the dude's just like, "I don't see why I should answer when you're being so fucking rude." And then Vegeta's like, "I'm sorry, sir. Will you please tell me the thing I want to know?" And then the episode ends.
Yeah.
Like right there.
I did enjoy
weird spot to end it.
Yeah, that seems to be Daima's thing. I did enjoy the bickering between Kid Bulma and Kid Vegeta. It's just funny.
Yep.
Especially with everything we know about them by this point. It's just like, this is just funny.
Oh, there's some more fun stuff later on, I promise you.
I can imagine. But yeah, Daima, things are happening. Slow and steady, but things are finally happening.
They're on their way to Tamagami number 2.
It'll be a much better show once it's done. Alex will probably have a much better time watching it, like in one go.
Well, yeah, it's 20 episodes. 20 episodes versus almost 300.
Well, that and just the fact that watching the show week by week is kind of boring. really need to watch it in like a long form binge.
I mean, yeah. That's how I would have preferred to watch. Well, I mean, it's one of those things. It's a double-edged blade, really, because it's the same thing with how you watched Attack on Titan with how I watched Attack on Titan. Like I watched it weekly, you watched it all at once, and I feel like with a show like Attack on Titan, watching it weekly is actually good because
Well,
it
the
gives
thing
you
with
time to really because there's so much in every episode. Like it gives you
that's the
time to absorb
difference.
each thing and create theories and talk about it with people every week. You know what I mean?
That's the thing. Like Attack on Titan, stuff happens every episode. Daima, it don't happen till episode 4.
Yeah. Well, I have to watch every new Dragon Ball series
I know.
as it comes out because I get spoiled otherwise. I get spoiled if I don't watch it like within the first 3 hours of it being out.
Fair. I mean, I still say you can get spoiled anywhere because I mean, I got Oshinoko spoilers in the fucking Formula One subreddit. So,
so yeah,
But,
that was Daima for the week. It was episodes 7 and 8.
we're moving along through it. But I think we should. We're in almost an hour in. I think we might want to get to our topic for this episode.
Yeah, I think Alex kind of threw off our rhythm there for a minute.
You mean me and Alex? Because we planned. That was totally planned.
Yeah, well, I feel like I was ambushed. It was very rude.
It was funny. I'm gonna laugh too when you forget about that, and then like you listen to the GNC and you go, "Wait a minute." But anyways, we do have a topic for this episode. If you've made it this far, thanks for listening. We're going back to doing another live action superhero film. Last time we had done Batman 89. I think. Did we do Deadpool and Wolverine after that one, or was that before?
We did Deadpool Wolverine first, and then we did Batman.
Okay. So we had last done Batman 89, and we kind of thought it'd be cool to stay in because we're kind of all marveled out. Let's be real here. We do some DC films instead. So for this episode, we decided to do the 1978 Superman movie, just called Superman, sometimes called Superman the movie, or as fans will call it nowadays, Superman 78.
The Max had a weird title for it.
What did Max call it? I watched it on DVD, so
I don't remember it exactly word for word. Hold on, keep talking, and I'll look it
so up. The version I watched was I bought it in this I have this 5-pack of all the 5 Superman movies before Man of Steel, and I think
it's the Batman pack is like the same kind of thing.
Yeah, it just has it has the 4 Superman movies and then Superman Returns. And I believe the version I have it's Superman the movie, the extended cut, which I think is the version that most people see nowadays.
That's weird because it only shows the title that I saw when you download it. When it's just on the screen, it's not. But when you have it downloaded, it's called Family Adventures Superman the movie.
That's different, I guess.
Yeah. I thought that was kind of weird. This is I forgot how long this movie is.
Yeah, it's like a little under 2 hours, I think.
It's like 2.5 hours. It's like,
is it?
It's like practically it's like almost Lord of the Rings length.
Oh yeah, 148 minutes. Or 143, I should say.
It's pretty wild. But I was enjoying it the whole way through.
It's very much a 70s movie, but goddamn is it a good movie.
So I don't know how you want to handle it, if you just want to jump around or if you want to
probably jump around, because it's to be fair, the plot of this movie is kind of light.
Yeah. I have a question because something was bothering me about this movie. And
well, one thing I do want to preface beforehand, this, because it's 1978, this is pre-Crisis Superman. The Superman that most people in our generation know is the one that was created after the Crisis on Infinite Earths reboot in 1986, which was the whole like Superman the animated series, like all the stuff we knew, like Death of Superman, all that stuff, that is post-crisis.
Mhm.
This is still in the pre-crisis era where he was a very different character.
Yeah. Well, see, that's the thing. Is it the thing that I'm kind of having inner conflict about actually isn't about Superman. It's about Lex Luthor.
Yes.
Now, I'm not, obviously, I've mentioned many times, I'm not a Superman guy.
Superhero.
Yeah, exactly. But my impression of Lex Luthor was always that he was a very in the public eye businessman / politician, and that his motivation was we shouldn't be relying on Superman, so I'm going to take him out of the picture so we can help ourselves.
So,
am I mistaken here? But that was always the how I thought Lex Luthor was.
So that's the fun thing about comics. It depends on the writer.
Okay.
The version of Lex I am most familiar with is like the animated series Lex, the one voiced by Clancy Brown. Was very much the conniving businessman. Like he was clearly evil for the sake of being evil. He wasn't like
he was always slimy, but like I always
Yeah.
thought that his motivation was more like we can't just be relying on this super guy because if something happens to him, we're all going to be too fucking crippled from our own inadequacy to help ourselves when we need it, kind of thing.
That's it. Sometimes, depending on the writer, a lot of times too, it's more of like because he's an egomaniac. He wants to be the city's savior, doesn't want to be shown up by the big blue Boy Scout.
Mm-hmm.
It all depends on the writer. Like this interpretation played by Gene Hackman, which actually rest in peace, passed away really recently. Actually, I did enjoy the Gene Hackman Lex Luthor though. I thought he was very good, chewing the scenery kind of character.
I'm just saying, if he had a mustache, he'd have been twirling the shit out of that bad boy.
What did you think of the reveal right at the? What did you think of the reveal right at the end of the film when he gets arrested? He pulls off the wig and it's like, I'm bald now.
Well, I mean, it kind of hints at that early in the movie because what's his name? His little lackey there.
Oh, I love the lackey. The lackey is so great.
Yo, is it just me or was there some like weird Three Stooges vibes going on?
Oh no, that was the 70s, just part of the time.
But no, there was a point where his little lackey guy there was
Otis.
He was
Otis.
Yeah, he was tidying up. He was like tidying up their literal underground base, and at one point he was like adjusting wigs on like a wig stand. I was like, oh, okay, so that's where he's wearing a wig.
See, I love the point where he breaks the lamp and he's like just puts it back on like nothing happened. Yeah. The movie has a lot of really good background humor and like just like subtle slapstick.
Yeah, it's very, very, very cheesy slapsticky stuff. That's something I definitely picked up on.
I will say right off the bat, I love Christopher Reeve as Superman.
Oh yeah, for sure. I love the really like subdued, like wimpy, like portrayal of himself that he gives out when he's being Clark Kent.
I like it in this movie because it's standalone. I didn't like it in the comics as much. So this is where it gets a little confusing. This era of Superman, like before Crisis, like kind of reinterpreted the character. The way it was kind of written by most writers was Superman is the character, like the personality, and Clark is his disguise.
Mm-hmm.
Most interpretations post Crisis, it's flipped around the other way, where Clark is the character, Superman is what he does.
I mean, I always saw it as like Superman is who he is. Like,
so that hasn't been.
What's his real name?
Kal-El.
Yeah, or Kal-El, or whatever the fuck his dad says in this.
Marlon Brando. Yeah.
There was some interesting pronunciations in this movie.
Yeah, the way they said Krypton.
Krypton.
So since 86, it's been a lot more because the way that the comics were retooled, they really put a lot of emphasis into he really did grow up as a human, like for most of his life. Like Clark was a big part of who he was growing up. So they play into the fact that he is Clark Kent, like that's who he always was. And then Superman is what he does, like when he's saving the world, but like he's still Clark. Like that's kind of the way they've written it since. A lot of the times, like in the old writing, like Clark was literally just kind of a facade that didn't really exist.
Mm-hmm.
So that's kind of this film is definitely the pre-crisis where like it's very clear Clark is just kind of his civilian identity.
Gotcha.
The only other character that was a little off-putting to me, mostly just because I'm much more used to the modern interpretation, was Lois Lane, played by Margaret Kidder, I think. Let me bring up the cast because I can't remember.
I didn't really know how I felt about her in this movie. Like, I didn't have any like serious negative thoughts about her, but like she also seemed very self-interested.
So, unfortunately, during the 70s and early 80s, Lois Lane was not a well-written character at all in the comics. Like, her entire character was that she was just kind of obnoxious, whiny Superman's girlfriend. How can she not figure it out? Like, that whole thing. This movie is still very firmly in that era, always getting captured, always being the rescue punching bag, basically. Post-crisis, she is a lot more tough as nails, kind of like hard-edged, which I prefer vastly for her character.
She's had a few very thirsty moments throughout this movie.
Oh, you mean the interview?
Yeah. Well, first of all, when she's like, "Oh, what kind of panties am I wearing?" It's like she's literally just giving him an invitation, like, "Check out what I got, big boy."
Yeah, he's like, "Oh, did I embarrass you?" He's like, "No, you're standing behind lead." She's got a lead planter. You can tell them what era this was.
Yeah, right.
And then I love the line where she steps away from me. He's like, "Oh, pink, by the way." And it's like, Clark, Clark, what are you doing?
And then there was the when she's doing the interview, and she has that Freudian slip. She goes, "How big are you? I mean, how tall are you?"
Yeah, the writing there was so
like you knew what she was thinking about.
I'm sitting here thinking, I was laughing as I'm watching this. I'm like, this is a 70s movie. I'm like, damn, they were even then they were like going for it.
Well, I mean, even back then, like I've noticed, like watching older stuff, that they still throw a lot of that stuff in there. They just make it in a way where you could like carry it off or pass it off, like, oh no, this is what we meant. Like.
Another character that I absolutely loved.
Who's that?
Jackie Cooper as Perry White.
You'll have to remind me.
Head of the Daily Planet, the main editor.
Oh yeah.
I just his performance was hilarious. Like I loved his whole just like when he's like, "Jimmy, get the coffee." He's like, "Right on it, Chief." He's like, "Don't call me Shirley." And Jimmy's like, "All right, sure, Harry." And he just runs off.
There was yeah, he definitely had like a less shitty J. Jonah Jameson kind of vibe to him.
So the difference is J. Jonah Jameson hates Spider-Man with all his being. Perry White's never hated Superman. In fact, most of the planet, they worship Superman because he's like the savior of Metropolis.
He's a good boy.
I will say one thing that I loved about this film, just inherently, the reason why I still think this is the best Superman movie ever made is like the whole middle section of the film. It's literally just Superman being Superman. Like there's
literally saving cats out of trees.
Yeah, like no unnecessary drama, no fucking dark bullshit for no reason. It's just Clark like flying around like, "Oh, I rescued Lois Lane from this helicopter." He's like, "Safe flying." like they're gonna need medics. I'll see you later. Then he's like, "Oh, Air Force One is crashing. I'm going to fly in the engine and save the day." And they're like, "We got our engine back. What happened?" And they're like, "Just keep flying. Don't even look." And they're just looking, and Clark's like I Christopher Reeve's like inflection and like the way he like just does like his acting is so good.
Yeah, like he's really good at like switching between the like limp noodle of Clark Kent and like the golden boy, like golden god type of fucking Superman.
For this characterization of the character, I love it. This probably wouldn't work in a modern interpretation just because the character's just not written the same way anymore. I just see when people this movie's a great one of my great examples for like when people always go Superman's boring and like I don't get what the appeal is. I'm like, just watch this movie. Watch this whole section. It's like this is why we like Superman because he's literally a Boy Scout just going along helping people because he feels like it. Oh, did you see the dark scene after he like saves the cat from the tree?
Oh yeah, when the mom slapped,
Yeah.
mom, the man just like Superman just flew down and saved my
Rescued
cat
the
from the
cat.
tree. It's just like, what did I tell you about lying? Slap.
It's like, what did I tell you about lying?
I actually had to rewind that because like, wait a minute, did that just happen?
I was taking a fucking drink and I almost spit it out. I was like, holy shit! Like that was dark as fuck.
Oh, the 70s.
I was saying though, like the scene where the helicopter's crashing and Lois is screaming. I was like, just shut up. I was like, God damn.
Yeah.
Like that scene was a bit over the top.
And also Lex Luthor's like very mustache twirly plan of sinking California.
Yeah. I like how he's just a Bond villain in this movie, and I kind of like
for real. Like that's when this movie like all the like Boy Scout stuff and like I'm gonna save a cat out of a tree. I'm gonna catch this thief who's suction cupping his way up.
Oh yeah, I love that scene where he's like you should use an elevator.
And then but still the cheesiest part of the movie is just Lex Luthor and his little group. Like that's like
my favorite scene though is when like he stops the guy climbing the building and he sees the cop. He's like, sir, I think you need to take this guy in. He needs help. And then the cops like later going to the station, he's like, I swear, a guy in blue tights and red boots flew off into the air. And the guy's like, all right, you need to go back to the bar because clearly you were already there. And he's like, you know what? I'll see you in a few minutes. Because after I get out, and then he walks out and he looks up and he's like, you know what, bud? The next round's on me.
But no, I swear to God, even putting the Bond villain thing aside, like I'd say if anything, he's like Dr. Evil. Like he's like that level of like cheesy like plan.
To be fair though, like in mid-70s, that was kind of how Lex was written. Like he was very Bond villainish. Like the modern interpretation of Lex really didn't show up until like the 90s and post-crisis era.
Bro was literally an underground criminal.
Yeah, and he had his own personal Bond girl just chilling the whole time.
Yeah. Who still ended up making out with Superman.
Yeah. She's like, why do I always fall for awful men? And Superman's just like.
And I love that. I love that Lex Luthor is so mustache twirly that he's like, oh, I sent out another missile. And it's just like, oh, I know exactly where it's going. It's going here. And she's just like, but my mom lives there. He's like, yeah, bitch, that's why I sent it there.
I love the scene. I love the scene too, where like Clark's going into the breaking into Lex's lair, and he's like, all right, Superman, this'll stop you. And it just doesn't. And he's like, I think it was the bullets, and they just all bounce off him. And he's just like, all right, well, if that didn't stop you, I'm giving you one more warning. He goes into the fire chamber, doesn't even infect him. He's like, all right, this is your last chance, Superman. Yeah. Fucking freezes him, breaks out of it.
I will say the whole bit about like how Lex comes to the conclusion of, oh, if I just happen to get kryptonite, then that will kill him. Like, well, first of all, you're assuming that fragments of the planet made it to Earth. You're assuming that the meteorite that you're going to has those fragments, and you're assuming that pieces of the planet that he came from will kill him.
Yeah, that's one of the.
Technically, he was correct on all accounts, but the logic is just not there.
That's one of the bigger stretches in this movie, I will admit. Like that whole like the kryptonite contrivance, I was kind of like, I'm like, for the 70s, whatever.
Yeah, it's like it's like you wrote yourself into a corner. You're like, how do I get Lex to use kryptonite?
Yeah, that was a bit that one right there was probably the biggest stretch just overall. Like, but movie one thing. It's like, not a
one time deal. It's whatever. Also, there was the scene at the beginning. Like, I don't know why. Like, because it's been so long since I've watched any of these movies, any of these classic Superman movies. I couldn't remember if because that first scene threw me off, where they had the three um, criminals from Krypton getting sent off in the weird mirror thing that goes up in space.
Yeah,
And
they're
I
like,
remembered
"Ah."
that. I remembered that from when I was a kid, and I was like, "Oh, is this that movie?" Like, no, that's actually one of the later ones. They just for some reason
That's
set it up in this one.
that's Superman 2.
Yeah, that's what I thought,
So
like originally, and then I saw them at the beginning. I'm like, "Oh, is that what we're doing with this one?" And then it turns out we
so
weren't.
fun fact, Superman 1 and 2 were made at the same time.
That makes sense.
There's actually a big controversy around that too, because when we cover 2, we have to make sure we cover the right version because there's 2 versions of 2.
Oh, really?
Yeah, there's the one that came out initially, which is like the one after it was heavily reshot because Richard Donner left the project, and then there's the Richard Donner cut because Richard Donner had made like 80% of the film
Mhm.
before he left the project, and then the replacement director, because he wanted directing credit, basically reshot everything, and it's like a completely different film.
Okay.
And the Donner version is considered superior. So you got to make sure when you watch 2, you have to make sure it's the Richard Donner cut.
I will have to confirm which one is on Max because that's what I have access to.
Yeah, worst comes to worst, next time you visit, you can rip my copy.
Fair enough. I mean, I'll probably end up doing that anyway, but
Because that
Um,
five film set doesn't even have the original version; it only has the Donner cut.
oh, okay, fair enough. Oh, by the way, before I forget, it's just kind of ironic that you're wearing that particular hat.
Yeah, I did not even think of that. To be
Yeah,
perfectly
it's just like
honest,
I randomly was just like looking at you, like, wait a minute.
complete coincidence.
To audio only listeners, it's a NASCAR hat, I'm assuming, right?
Yeah, I'm wearing my Martin Truex Jr. hat. He drove the '78 for a while.
Yeah, it's 78, which we're covering Superman 78 right now. So
Yeah,
thought that was funny.
complete coincidence. It was just happened to be the hat I grabbed.
But yeah, I enjoyed this movie a lot. It was one of those ones where like I didn't even notice the time going by, and it's a 2.5 hour movie. Like that's
Yeah,
wild.
it's a surprisingly quick watch. Honestly, the slowest part is the Krypton. Sorry, Krypton shit
Yes,
at the start.
all the stuff on Krypton.
I love
Yeah,
Marlon
it takes like
Brando as
it's like 30
Jor-El.
minutes into the movie before he even gets to Earth.
Yeah, and you don't even see him as an adult until like 45 minutes in.
Yeah, which is pretty wild.
Oh, another weird plot point too, because I don't think canonically it makes sense, but I guess for this movie they do whatever they want. The scene where he's running next to the train
mhm.
and the
I
little
have something
girl,
to say about that, but continue.
the when he's running next to the train and the little girl notices him, when it's revealed that that's Lois, I was like, I don't think that's right because I'm pretty sure it's canon that Lois is older than Clark, but
I didn't even know that was Lois. Completely
well,
went
because
over my head.
the mom says like, not now, Lois, like that's insane.
And what are the odds that they'd be from like the same area? Like that's weird.
Well, no, that was a train passing through.
Oh, so that was like transcontinental kind of.
Yeah, I think that was the
Okay.
implication there.
I
I
don't know.
won't.
I'm just so used to local trains around here. So
Yeah, I think that was a long haul train, but
um, but yeah, that scene with the train actually, like the scene right before it, where he's getting like that one girl wanted to go to the party or whatever, and
oh, Lana,
the dumb jock was like, oh, blah blah blah, he's gonna clean up our mess, ha ha ha.
the mess
And
that I just. Also, the most petty fucking knockover. Like he's like, "Ah, you mean the things you just stacked? You mean that's all on the ground there because I'm a dick?" It's like,
yeah,
great.
but then he kicks one of them and it goes flying, and then the scene shifts to the train. I'm like, I really believed that was gonna fucking collide with the train. I really thought it was gonna happen, and I was really disappointed that it didn't.
Yeah, where did that damn football go? Yeah, the girl he was talking to, that's actually Lana Lang, who's like his other love interest early on in the series in Superman lore.
Gotcha.
She's the main love interest of Superman 3. A bad movie.
Also, the scene at like when he lands and his adoptive parents find him, it's a little uncomfortable.
Yeah, they just did that with old movies like that back in the day. I guess there was
I don't know. It was weird.
yeah, like, different time, I guess.
Yeah.
I did like when he picked up the truck. That was funny.
Yeah, that was. Yeah.
I like the Kents. They were fun in this film.
I also love the scene. I feel like I shouldn't laugh, but I still found it funny that like he gets home, he's just like, "Oh, Dad, I love you. But let's race to the house." He just, "Oh, I tried to run, heart attack."
No, he literally says, "Oh no," and then just falls down.
Oh no, I walked faster than a slow trot.
Yeah, it's weird because I'm so used to post-crisis where the Kents are alive for a while after he becomes Superman. So it's always weird whenever they kill one of them early.
Yeah. Well, I mean, it's a superhero movie, so we have to have a tragic death. It's just.
Well, Superman's usually
Oh no, both
well,
my dads are dead.
well, that's kind of the thing with Superman is like he already had the tragedy before, like at the start of his life.
Yeah, but he didn't know about it.
True. Very true. It's just one of those things that I always see, and I'm always kind of like, it's because I'm so used to different interpretations of the character that when you go back to an older one, you kind of like go, hmm.
That's fair.
To be fair, though, Man of Steel also did the same thing.
I never saw Man of Steel, so I couldn't. This film series is the only live action iteration of Superman I'm familiar with. So,
okay.
I will say
than Man of Steel, so
fair. I am curious though. Actually, that's not technically true because I saw him in Supergirl, but
oh, so you saw the best live action Superman?
Briefly, I didn't see very much of him.
That's the same guy who's in Superman and Lois. So
okay.
Which
at
is
some
the
point,
best live action Superman.
at some point, I'm gonna go through all those again, and like actually go through all of them. But now I feel like the gauntlet has been thrown, and I have to win this year. So I might not do it this year.
Fair.
Because apparently Alex got all competitive on me. I don't know why.
By all means, I just wanted to finish Attack on Titan, and Slade is doing whatever Slade's doing.
Slade's getting married. He's busy.
Yeah, Slade's got shit to do.
But yeah, so how long was he in the Fortress of Solitude? I feel like I heard a number, but I don't know if I was hearing it right because I was doing other stuff.
Yeah, this one's weird. It's like implied he was because he was only a teenager when he went there, and he was a young adult by the time. So at least like a good 7 or so years, I'd assume. No, he has. It had to. It had to have been a while because that happens right after the train scene, and Lois is like a young child in that scene, and she's like a full-grown woman by the time he leaves.
I feel like they said 12 years, but I don't know if that's right.
That would make sense just considering the age gap. It's hard to tell with Clark just because of he was kind of an old-looking teenager to begin with.
It really was a different time, though, man. He drops out of high school, hides out in like an ice shack for 12 years. And he was being homeschooled, sure, but by his alien daddy and about things that had nothing to do with Earth. Things that had nothing to do with Earth. And then he just goes and gets a job at like the biggest fucking news outlet in the world.
Yeah.
And I kind of hired not like a super high position, but fairly high. High enough to be like working for the big man. So different time, man, where you could just fucking fuck off for 12 years and then just be like, hey, I'm just gonna go get an amazing job because I feel like it.
Well, he's a fast typer. I mean,
true.
That is actually the one thing one flaw I had watching this was the whole just how they glaze over the whole training stuff. Because it's literally just like and he's just Superman now.
Why 12-year time skip? What are you gonna do?
I would have liked to see some of him discovering his power. Well, that's what the modern thing implies that he learned a lot of it. While he was still with the Kents, and then because they were still alive when he becomes Superman, but.
Well, I mean, to be fair, if they had spent time on that would have taken out of time of him just being good boy, flying around and doing stuff.
True. I get it. It's already.
The movie was already 2.5 hours long. All right.
It's so weird that it didn't feel that long.
I know.
It's so weird because Man of Steel is a slog. That movie is so long and it feels long.
So I gotta say, I do find it a little annoying that They make it a point, like all the way from the beginning of the movie, and it just continues to be a plot point that gets brought up over and over and over again. You don't fuck with history. And he's just like, oh no, something bad happened to me. I guess I'll fuck with history. Like, I thought he was supposed to be
Yeah,
like the Boy Scout, and then
I
he just goes
forgot.
like, I guess I'll just commit the ultimate taboo and just because my girlfriend died.
Yeah, that the going. Well, you know what? You know what's really weird about that scene? It only seems to affect Lois. Like it doesn't seem to
Yeah.
change anything else time wise.
Because he didn't have to go and stop the missiles again or anything.
Yeah,
Like,
that
and
that
like the
that
guy that he had,
scene.
and the other guy that worked there that was like kind of hanging out with Lois or whatever,
Oh,
the
Jimmy,
coffee boy there,
Jimmy.
he
Yeah.
he saved him before he reversed time, but then he didn't save him after that. So it seems like, so is there two Supermen?
No, I just think it's time travel's bullshit. They should have even. That's.
I mean, the idea that you can reverse time by spinning the Earth the other way is kind of ridiculous as it is. So
I'm just trying to figure out what killed Lois. Like she wasn't even buried. She just kind of got some dirt on her, and then she fell asleep.
maybe she hit her head. I don't know.
Maybe a rock. I don't know. That entire thing was a little contrived. That's probably that. Honestly, that was probably the weakest point in the film. Just the ending.
Yeah, they didn't even need to kill her at all in the first place. So it was
Well,
just kind of one
because
of those like,
in by modern because it the way modern Superman works probably I mean they're married by this point now. They've been married since '96. Um, the way that they write it now, like because he can train his ears because he can hear. He's got the super hearing. He's able to pick out very specific things. Like he always is listening on what Lois is doing, like what these specific characters are. So
what
in
a
modern
creep.
canon, what?
What a creep.
Oh no, it's his wife. He's just making sure she's okay.
I don't know. It just feels like it's like if you had your wife bugged at all times. Like that's kind of fucked up.
Well, considering what Lois does, it's probably for the better. but
Yeah, I guess so.
If in modern continuity, he would have been there and rescued her before she was even in danger, because
Mhm.
like you don't have time for that shit.
Well, yeah, I mean,
Um,
Superman has endless potential. Like by this point, he should be fucking lifting the planet with one arm.
well, the funny thing is, like, it's implied that like Superman could clean up Gotham in like a day if he really wanted to. He just doesn't because that's Batman's turf.
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah, Superman's a very interesting character when you actually break down like he could theoretically clean the world up in like a couple days if he really wanted to, but he doesn't want to step on toes and because it's not his place.
Which is, I don't know. I feel like if it's one of those like truth, justice, and the American way, you should just fucking do it and just have done with it.
Well, see, there's a series where he does that, and it's always ends up with him being an evil dictator.
Hmm.
Like
That actually sounds fun.
the injustice timeline is literally Lois gets killed and he goes crazy and he just starts taking. Basically, he's like, I'm not gonna let anyone ever. I'm gonna just kill all evil and take over the world. Basically,
And also, like the whole like Lois dying in this movie seemed kind of pointless because he already lost two dads. Like we've already had deaths. All right, like
they
he lost
also
his mom, his dad, and then his other dad. Like come on.
really didn't develop that much. Like they flew in the sky. He dropped her twice,
Mhm.
and then suddenly they're in love.
Yeah, pretty much.
I get it's a movie.
A two and a
Yeah,
half hour movie though. They had time. It's not like
they
they didn't
did.
have time. They
The
just didn't
problem
utilize it.
Yeah, the problem is Lois's characterization was just kind of bad at this point. In the
I mean, all in all, the movie itself is still very much enjoyable and
Oh
like
yeah, the movie's
it's
great.
definitely a movie I'll go back and watch for sure.
Like I still think it's the best Superman movie. Period.
I don't
Just
have a frame of reference, so I can't speak on that, but it is it is the one that I remember. I'll say that much. It,
I
it,
mean,
it was very very fun to watch.
to be fair, the competition next to it, there's not a ton. Like that's why I'm hoping to God Superman Legacy, or actually it's just called Superman now, but the new one is going to be good
Mhm.
because they're not doing an origin story for once, which is nice because I'm so tired of the origin story every time.
Yeah. Yeah, superhero movies just that's actually one of the few things about well not few things, but one of the things about the current iteration of Spider-Man that I'm actually happy about is we didn't do the origin story again.
Yeah, that was nice. They just kind of they were like, you know what happened. We're not going to waste your time again.
Yeah, Uncle Ben's gone. He's not even involved.
That's actually one of the funnest like twists of the new Ultimate Spider-Man comic that's out right now, where in that version, Uncle Ben's alive and Aunt May's dead.
Hmm.
It's an interesting twist.
That's fun.
Yeah, I did. This movie honestly held up better than I thought, though. Like, I had
Oh
the
yeah, this for sure holds up.
last time I watched this movie was like the early 2010s. So like coming back to it now after like a decade and rewatching it and realizing it's still pretty good is refreshing, especially for such an old movie. Like, yeah, the effects were pretty dated at times. Like there was definitely points where I was like, "Ew, that didn't look good."
I'm pretty sure it's been like 20 years since I watched this movie, and I enjoyed it a lot. So that speaks for a movie that, I mean, there's a reason why it's lasted. It's still like the definitive Superman movie.
You know what's crazy too? The budget for this
that?
movie was 55 million.
In the 70s, that's quite a bit.
It was for the 70s. It's just funny now, like that's like nothing.
Yeah, and well, I mean, money was worth more back then, so
true.
It's probably like the equivalent of like a $200 million movie.
Yeah. It's actually interesting too. Like the thing that a lot of the modern superhero films have now is like these over the top rubber suits. I actually kind of like the fact that the suit is literally just it's exactly what you'd expect it to be.
Yeah, it's not like the super cheesy like rubber shit that fucking Michael Keaton was wearing in that last movie.
Yeah, or even what like Henry Cavill had in Man of Steel, where it's just like it's so ridiculous. I liked the suit in this movie. It actually somehow didn't look dumb.
Was Man of Steel Henry Cavill?
Yeah, Man of Steel was Henry Cavill.
I thought Man of Steel was the other guy.
No, you're thinking of Superman Returns with Brandon Routh.
Right. Okay. I don't know why I always thought that was the Man of Steel guy.
Nah, Man of Steel was Cavill because he was in all the DC extended universe movies before they rebooted it again.
Gotcha. Even the live action movies can't stop rebooting. See, you're wrong. There's so many reboots.
True. Even the CW universe rebooted. God damn it.
Yeah, exactly. So, yeah.
The comics only rebooted twice. The comics only rebooted twice.
But yeah. Yeah, I'm looking forward to doing more of these. This is really fun. I like going back to these old superhero movies.
For the next one, I'm not sure if we should do a Batman again, or maybe we should do like.
I was thinking maybe we do like alternate. We do like 2 different DCs and then 2 different Marvels kind of thing.
Well, if we're gonna do Marvel next, I want to do like an old school one again because I don't want to do an MCU. I'm tired of MCU right now.
Like, I mean, we'll eventually start covering some of those, but I definitely want to do some of like the Fox and Sony stuff. And
you know what I'm thinking? We should do Spider-Man next, and then X-Men.
Okay, that sounds
like
good.
We'll do the first Spider-Man and then the first X-Men.
And then like I don't know if we want to just continue with like those specific franchises or like we could spread out and do like maybe like one time we'll do like Wonder Woman and Green Lantern. And then another time we'll do fucking Daredevil and Blade,
Actually, you know what? That might actually be fun. We do the good movies. And then, well, Wonder Woman's a good movie, so maybe not. But I was thinking like maybe then we do like Green Lantern and Flash, maybe.
Oh yeah, there was a new Flash movie, wasn't there?
Yeah, it's not good from what I've heard. Yeah, we do
I think it'd be fun to kind of alternate like that. And then we can come back to Batman and Superman and the X-Men and Spider, because X-Men and Spider-Man, along with Batman and Superman, there's a lot of all those franchises. So we got plenty of content for that stuff.
That would legit be funny though. We do Spider-Man, X-Men, and then we do Green Lantern and fucking Flash, and then we do fucking Daredevil and Fantastic Four or something. I don't know.
Yeah, it'd be fun.
Just we watch the shit movies and then we go back to good ones.
Then we'll go back to the old school good movies.
Which ironically for Superman and Batman, it's literally the next two, and then they go into shit for their movies.
I mean, I will probably still find things to like about them.
Well, Batman Forever, there's stuff that there is things to like praise about Batman Forever. That movie's not awful. It's cheesy, but it's got good moments. Superman 3 is pretty bad. And then the less said about Batman and Robin and Superman 4, the better. So
that'll be a fun pairing.
when we watch Superman 4, oh, that's gonna be rough.
No, jeez.
As Zuko said in Avatar, that's rough, buddy. But yeah, so I think we agreed next week. Well, next week
is up in the air right now.
Yeah, we got to figure that one out. There's going to be some scheduling.
We're waiting on word from a potential guest, and
yes.
if that works out, we're doing one thing. If it doesn't work out, we're doing a different thing.
Yes. Yeah, so we'll plan that out. But yeah, other than that, though, anyways, guys, once again, thank you for joining us on Geek Addicts. You can find Geek Addicts on all the major podcasting platforms, particularly Apple Podcast and Spotify. And be sure to check us out over on the Superpod Network. That is superpodnetwork.com. Awesome site. We can find all sorts of different podcasts, videos, blogs, all sorts of awesome shows. I don't do the full crawl anymore just because frankly, there's too many shows now. And most people know who's in the network. And if you really want to find out, you can go visit the network just to encourage people to go. And there's a scroll there for the video watchers if they really want to know. But yeah, that was a fun one. Superman, that was a good revisit.
Yeah, I had a lot of fun.
But with that, once again, guys, thank you for joining us, and we will see you all later.
Have a good one.